Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be checking out The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature. We're looking at all of the build and buy assets that come with this expansion pack. So thanks to EA for giving us early access to check out this pack. I also have a Creator Sim review video and I'm going to be doing some gameplay. So, oh, my dog is here. Meowsy. Hello. He's come for the tea, come for the review. So you guys can check out those videos. So subscribe if you haven't already. And also, just so you guys know, this is not final software. That's why my name is darting around the screen. But let's jump into it. Okay, so I've set this up a little bit differently to how I would usually do a build and buy review. I actually don't think it's been a while. I think it's been a while since my last build and buy review for a pack. Anyway, there's so many beautiful items. I am excited to show you guys. I do think there's a few things missing that I would have loved to see, so I'll also tell you guys how I feel about that. And I'm also very curious to hear what you guys think about what items we are getting in this pack as well. So all of these rooms right here are pre-made rooms. Some of you guys might not know, but in build mode, there is an option down here for styled rooms and you can then filter it for whichever pack. And Enchanted by Nature has quite a few. And you just click on them, you can then pick from 3 different colors. And it's a great way to just get an overall idea of the style of a pack and also to get inspired about what to build and how to build and furnish. So that's a great little thing to know about. If there's something you particularly like in the room, you can just click on it and it'll immediately bring it out of the catalog too, which is something I didn't even know, so that's cool. Anyway, I've also got a few items around here that's been brought out from using build cheats, a buy debug cheat or show live edit objects or hidden objects. So I'll also point out which ones of those aren't in the actual catalog. Let's have a look at a few of these rooms first. We'll look at these items individually, but this gives you an idea of the kitchen set that we get with this pack. It's very much nature inspired. There's also elements of Art Nouveau, new wallpapers, flooring, and some really nice lights. This is more of a indoor-outdoor space, utilizing the new glass walls. This glass wall is unique to this expansion pack, but we're also going to get glass walls that match our existing glass roofing in base game too. That's an idea of how I could use those. It's also really windy where I am at the moment. We have gale wind warnings, so if you hear much wind through the mic, that is what is happening. This is really cool. This is like a awesome backdrop. I think it's technically a bar backdrop, but it has a very cool like galaxy effect. Beautiful fencing. Another kitchen room. A few of my favorite pieces from this pack are actually bathroom pieces. So I just really love this little trunk toilet and the stone shower. There's also a bathtub. The prettiest rooms are definitely the bedrooms. They are just so gorgeous. The wallpaper's stunning and all of the wall decor. So yeah, I think you guys get the idea of the style of the furniture and architecture and a few ideas with how you could kind of style these pieces together. And I saved the best till last. How gorgeous is this bedroom? This doesn't even have to be for a fairy or an occult sim. You could just have a themed kids room. Although I will add, I don't believe there's actually a bed for children in this pack, only toddlers and infants, which is actually a real shame because I would have loved to make a kid's bedroom like this as well, but we'll just have to use a different bed. So there's a couple of things missing like that, which obviously we'll talk about, but how awesome are the windows and doors for this pack? I was a little bit nervous that this pack would be too similar in terms of build mode to Realm of Magic because that also has an Art Nouveau style to it, but this is different, I think. The two packs are differentiated enough for me and I think they look really cool. So let's have a look and get to know the swatches. The windows have a few stained glass options to them, which is really nice. And we get a lot of different wood tones as well as some pastels too. I'm just actually struggling to zoom in on the back of this lot and I'm wondering if it's because I have all of these placed. Oh no, this is just one of those lots that you can't get the camera in as easily, which is a shame. So we're gonna have to sit back a little bit to have a look at these windows. But I love the butterfly wings on them, really pretty. I love the wood carvings on the door and the different symbols of the snail, the flowers, ornamental, maybe magical looking symbols as well. Very pretty. And the door handles being like little leaves or these curvy knobs So pretty, and I love the arch of the tree trunk here. So I've got a nice color story: red, light green, white, browns, blues. It's a nice balance of some light and darker colors. And I also love that we have this glass door too. Like, this is so cool, the different shapes in it. We also have a lot of wall decor items, which is nice. This one could sit under a window as a flower box, or it could probably just stand on its own as well. We have a corbel design to use in your house design. Why does that keep popping up? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. And some really pretty curtains which sit above most of the doors and windows pretty nicely. It just struggles a little bit with these wider windows. You might not want to use them for that, but for the most part, they kind of snap in quite nicely. And I guess you could maybe position some on the side of this. But yeah, they have a very pretty design with these floral patterns coming down. Just very pretty. I love these irregular shaped windows, and they have moss on them. They actually look kind of cool when you have them close together as well. You can create this like cluster of windows, which I think works. That's what's nice about the irregular edges of them and organic edges, because you can be really experimental. And I definitely want to make a Hobbit Hill house with these curved arches and windows too. They're almost circular like a Hobbit house. So I think they'll work really, really well. The arches are really beautiful. Some of them are more ornamental, others are a little bit more simple. There's definitely a really good, generous amount of build and buy items in terms of your windows, doors, and archways right here. And then we've also got this balcony, which will be really nice to add detail to your builds as well. In terms of fences, there's two different kinds. There's this woodland knot fence, which has some different colors available. A little matching gate here, very sweet. And then there's also this spiral fence, which I think is the winner for me. Just all of these beautiful floral arrangements on top of it is just so pretty. So yeah, we can kind of see the different colors here. Let me just change it to this version so it doesn't gray out for you. So yeah, you can see the different swatches. There's also this really pretty gate. I think this is such a great design. Whoever made this did such a great job. And I love how the archway almost goes fully over to join on the other side, but not quite. So it kind of looks like just a branch hanging over. In terms of foundations, we do have a new stone look to it, which also matches this new staircase. With mossy stones on it. There's also the matching railing to go with the fencing, so those are completed for you. And we're also seeing some new flooring down here. We'll have a look at more of the flooring in a second. I just want to get through these dormers right here. So we've got this really sweet kind of circular one to go with this style of window with some little mushrooms coming out of it. So cute. And then we have the more traditional looking one as well. That isn't as rounded, but it certainly looks kind of magical as well. This chimney is probably one of my favorite things. A creator who's one of my good friends, Dr. Gluon, I feel like he's gonna use this in so many of his builds because he does lots of quirky, magical builds. And I appreciate some of this is kind of patinaed or rusted over time. One thing that I think is missing from this pack is adequate landscaping for a pack that's themed around nature, fairies, and foraging. We don't have any plants except for these two, and these are actually in the roof sculpture category. So you're not gonna find them in your outdoor plant area. There are no new plants or rocks here. And when I realized there was nothing in landscaping, I was kind of shocked. I just assumed there would be, so I am quite disappointed by that. But in saying that, I do really like these two that we have here, and there's also a little special twist with these, and that is they can actually be placed on the roof. So these are roof plants, which is why they're being put in the roof category. I'm just gonna make this example of a roof a little bit bigger so you can see how they sit on here, and I'm hoping to see base game plants eventually updated so we can place them on roofs easily as well. I'm definitely very well practiced at planting things on my sim roofs through using the move objects on cheat. So this just simplifies it a little bit. So those are our two plants that we have. We also have this column here, the woodland knot, and then we have the spiral column as well. Just like our doors and windows, we have those two strong themes of styles with the spandrels too, which is really cute. I think it Could have been really cool to have a spandrel kind of like this with the sylvan cascading flowers. I wonder if that's like a reference to Sylvan Glade, the secret world. It probably is in base game. You know, that could have been cool to have all of it hanging down. Perhaps that was a little bit hard to execute and they had already tried that, but I think that would have been really awesome. Nonetheless, I think these are both really pretty. And of course, just before you saw that we have some new roof types. We have a grass roof, which does make sense, seeming as though we are putting plants on the roof now. So that's really cool. We already have a few grass roofs in the game with other expansion packs, but obviously if you don't have those packs, you need an alternative. So we have that. We also have a roof trim to match whichever roof you want to create, which is good and thorough. And then we also have the woodland knot roof type as well. It's going to be a little bit more easy to see on pitched roofs, so I'm excited to experiment with these in an actual build. Definitely subscribe if you want to see some builds, because I am really excited to build with this pack. And we also have the roof shingles here, which I love these because they're a little bit warped. I think that's a great design for this pack. It's still roof shingles, which we already have in the game, but it gives it a little bit of that whimsical vibe. So if we jump over here and look at the wallpapers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wallpapers plus a glass one. So I guess 6 wallpapers. The first one is this woodland scene, and this is really pretty with the fireflies in it. It definitely obviously looks like a magical forest, and it's quite surprising. You can get very different vibes depending on which colorway you pick. Like, this is very dark and mysterious. I love that one. Or you can go more bright and cheerful and go cool and warm colors. So I really love that wallpaper. There's also this birch wall. It's made to look like a birch tree. This, I think, could be used in a really modern build. I don't think it just has to be used as a woodland home type of wallpaper. I think it will be quite versatile as a feature wall. So I quite like that. We've got a beautiful stucco wall right here. I never know whether it's stucco or stucco. And in some previous packs, I think it was Love Struck, I found the darker wallpapers didn't work so well with my graphics card. They ended up looking more pixelated than textured. But I'm really pleased to see that this looks beautifully textured and I'm not having that issue with it. So that is awesome. And it's kind of mossy looking. It's really nice. Again, this will be pretty versatile. We've also got a stone wall right here. The only thing with this stone wall is I wish they had a few swatches without the greenery and moss in it, but I suppose that would have, you probably would have had to make a completely new wallpaper to take those elements out of it, just because I really would have loved to use this as a plain modern stone wall as well, or plain traditional stone wall, just because it would have been versatile. So it would have been cool to have another version of this. But obviously for a fairy themed pack and for your outdoor builds, this is going to be really beautiful, and your fences. We also have some sleek shingles. We already have a few shingles in the game, definitely across different packs. And this is really great because it offers a new shape of shingle that we haven't seen before in the game. And especially in the green swatches, it gives you that sense of leaves, you know, and nature. It goes with the theme, or even little wings. So I thought this was quite clever. And then one thing that a lot of you will be very excited about, I thought this was so cool, is that we now have glass walls. This particular glass wall is unique to this expansion pack. I've got to say the gold swatch is pretty stunning. Love that. It looks very royal. But I will also show you that in a coming base game update, at the point of filming this video, I don't know exactly when that update will be, but I guess to prepare for this pack coming out, we do have all of these base game glass walls coming out as well. And these correspond to the glass roofing we have in base game. So you'll recognize these patterns as being in the base game roofing. I love this one with the archways. I would have loved to see some more color swatches here. They've really restricted it to just literally what the roofing has in terms of swatches. And one thing I am always looking for in these base game roof options is a white version, or like a lighter version than just the black wrought iron. And funnily enough, the white version of this is still pretty silver. It's not a true white. So maybe we'll see that in the future if we request it enough. But yeah, these are really awesome. There's also the diamond pattern. We have a wide panel glass. And we also have, we have a wide paneled glass and also a seamless glass. So you can have regular, you can widen it, you know, like this and create a pattern, or you could just go full on glass wall. And it does work with curved walls as well. So yeah, that's exciting. Another thing that I've noticed really lacking in this pack that I expected to see was wall art. I just thought, given this is nature themed, occult themed, very closely related to arts, crafts, fantasy, small towns, I really expected to see a lot of artwork. And we do have some artwork that's locked until you play, you know, the game. But other than that, we do not have any paintings. We have a backsplash, which is cool. No paintings, you guys. No paintings in a fantasy fairy pack. I just think that's crazy they don't have any. We do have this Explorer decoration set, which is very sweet, and it does have some artwork in it, so I guess it is technically a painting there, but that's under wall art. And I wonder if the reason is because they've prioritized giving us all of these beautiful blooming walls, which I love. I love that these are in the pack. I just wish we could have both, you know? I wish there wasn't this feeling of them having to cut back or restrict items in an expansion pack, which is the biggest and broadest pack you will buy for The Sims. Also, I'm just realizing you can kind of merge this with the wallpaper and kind of make the picture come to life, which I like that too. These items are definitely things I'll be using all the time. They look really great when you pair them together or on their own. This is some unlockable art that looks like it includes a certificate. So I think you unlock this in the Apothecary skill, no, the naturopath career. So that's cool. That's something to look forward to. There's also this lovely mirror for your bathroom. We also have these tree shelves, which I think are really cool. I reckon these will be very popular for people to use. One thing, I wonder if anyone else will try and do the same thing, but I thought these might connect somehow or like go together. They don't. I don't know, I just thought they would, or create a love heart or something. I don't know, but nonetheless, they are a really cool item. I guess just because they lean towards each other, I thought they might intersect somehow. Some really nice, simple wooden shelving. That's really nice. You can kind of place it near each other, but I'd say the orientation of these shelves were not made keeping in mind that you might want to position the other one around it. It's just, the spacing's just not quite right to be able to do that. Some more flowers on the wall, very pretty. I think these shelves are definitely my favorite. These little mushrooms, so cute. There's a galaxy looking mushroom as well, which I really appreciate, and some very earthy tones, as well as the iconic red mushrooms. And yes, because they're shelves, you can put objects on them. So this is a new little plant that we can have a look at. And actually this plant is the most adorable thing, you guys, because it has little faces on it. Look at them. Isn't that adorable? We also have some beautiful wall lights made out of branches with flowers on them. I thought these were very pretty, and you can get creative with merging them together to create some interesting shapes and designs. You might have them kind of coming out of furniture or behind a bed. So that's very pretty. I also love this little light that at a glance looks like a traditional outdoor light, but when you look more closely, it's actually a little flower blooming off the wall with a little window in it and a door arch. So that's a really sweet little number. And then we also have this tiling here, tiled splashback with this butterfly on it. It's nice that we've been given some splashbacks amongst several of the latest packs. And I do enjoy using them in the kitchen, so that's sweet. And then this is our kitchen set. So we have different cupboards, bench tops, kitchen island here. Those of you who may not know, there is an option where there's a cogwheel And if you open that up, you can get different pieces to build your kitchen out with. And there's some really great corner pieces as well with little shelves on them. So it's always worth having a look to see what you can use. And the same goes for the cupboards too. You can open up the cogwheel here and get a whole heap of different cupboard options too. I do have a little bit of criticism for this kitchen set, and that is the seam lines they've gone with, which they're not just straight grid lines, which is good. They do have a little bit of irregularity and shadowing, but I just feel like it looks really strange to me. Like, it looks like this wood shouldn't be broken up into grid lines because the whole style is that organic, natural look, not a rigid man-made look. And to just show you guys other kitchen counters that you put next to each other, you don't get that seam line. It's the same with a lot of different patterns and countertops. They blend into one another really nicely. And we also have the same issue with the counters. Something like this might sound dramatic, but something like this is off-putting enough for me to not want to use the object. And this doesn't have a seam line here either at the front of the counters. So maybe they had reference images of a counter that was broken up like this. I don't know. In saying that though, I think both sides of the counters look really pretty. I love the irregularity. I think there's some nice, interesting swatches here as well. And something else that I really like is that the sink, this is really clever. The sink works as a standalone sink for a bathroom or wherever. But if you do want to incorporate it in the kitchen, it actually just works. You can just slip it in and you have this nice sink with a shelf under it, and it works that way as well. So I thought that was quite clever. We also have some beautiful ceiling lights. I think a standout piece is this fungi chandelier, we could almost call it, or just fungi ceiling lamp. This looks amazing in one of the community builds, which I'll show you in this video. They got a few different creators and community members who love playing The Sims, who are great at building to do some of the lots, and those are really pretty. I think you could also create an interesting lighting fixture from maybe combining the branches together. Ooh, yeah, definitely have a play around with that. Okay, moving back to some of these objects over here. I mean, obviously, fantasy, you gotta have a 4-poster bed. This is a glorious bed. The bedspread patterns are beautiful. There's some great color schemes as well. It's got that Art Nouveau bed head. Just a really pretty bed. Fit enough for a fairy to sleep in for sure. We then have this lovely little fairy tale bassinet. I love having the fabric go over it. And if you look closely, there's some really nice bedspread patterns. The acorns, my personal favorite. Ooh, I love those flowers. Very pretty. My personal favorite, this freezer bunny fairy, which I think a lot of players will fall in love with. We then have the crib here for infants. They can go in there. And I have to say, the addition of this little blanket was really nice. I love that they put that there. And then we have the toddler bed. But like I said earlier, there is no kids bed. So if you have a kid, you design this room for them, they grow up with these beautiful beds. You cannot have a single bed for a kid. Although, to be fair, you can just upgrade them to this double bed, I guess, but it would have been nice to have just that additional single bed. And this, again, is kind of a moment where you feel like the team was restricted, like they weren't allowed to add a bed. And I don't like that feeling in an expansion pack when it is the biggest pack you can buy. It just, dare I say, feels a little stingy when you sense that restriction. And I know it's probably because the team themselves probably have to adhere to a certain amount of items maybe, but perhaps sometimes if it makes sense, just add an extra, you know? Like, I feel like they should be allowed to do that sometimes if it makes sense. Like, if it makes sense, do it. Don't be too restricted by the numbers if it's able to be done. This is really stunning. I love this piece. I think this looks so great over the beds, and I think this will look great maybe even in a lounge room above chairs, or maybe you'll have a wedding ceremony and have guests sitting under these. This could be a very versatile piece to use in your builds and get creative with, but of course over the beds, Really, really pretty. I love that with these chairs, they've actually given us one chair with a cushion, one chair without, and the arms are slightly asymmetrical on either side, so you get a slightly different angle of the chair, kind of like a flower petal opening. So I think these look really cool. I like the different options for cushions. Interesting note for me is I feel like there's a lot of kind of similar, maybe similar grayish, beigey colors. I don't know, maybe we could have had another pop of color in here somewhere, because I'm automatically just going to the pinks, the yellows, and looking for that pop of color or that deeper color maybe. We have a lovely bench here, definitely makes sense with a fairy pack. Some of these items look like they just would suit an indoor-outdoor fairy house. Maybe this is more for cults only, like these chairs, or maybe they're just cool outdoor chairs. So I love that we have this aspect to the pack, but we also have more normal looking furniture as well. It's a nice balance. So we have this couch too. Again, maybe I'm just looking for a little bit more vibrancy in some of these swatches. I'll be interested to actually use them in a build and see what I can come up with. These chairs are really pretty. We have a dining chair, another dining chair, and a bar stool that all have this similar theme and colorway. So you could mix and match those really easily. And I love the twisted wood as well and the petal looking seats. We have this chair, just a very simple outdoor chair. I feel like I've got a few of these in my game already, but I don't know, maybe we don't have many in base game. Oh yeah, no, we've got some good swatches here that we haven't had before, and I just realized it's also a 3-seater, so it gives you that little bit of extra room, which is good. A little bit disappointed in the rugs. I really like this rug on the right. It's got the fantasy theme of dragons, ornamental tree design, the deer. It's very pretty, the gnome, very cute. But this leaf rug looks a little too cartoony to me for such a ornamental, beautiful pack. I just think it should have been a little less cartoony and maybe more reflective of the other items in the pack. We also have this mossy looking rug. The problem that I have with these styles of rugs that we've seen before in the game, which I'm interested to see if you guys feel the same way or not, is it just looks very drawn in 2D. It doesn't actually look like a fluffy, mossy rug. And I think I'm wanting it to look a little bit more like it is fluffy. Just my 2 cents about that. But yeah, I would have liked to see maybe some more rugs focused on artwork and folk art. This was a little disappointing for me. We have a really cool lamp here that actually goes with the wall lights we looked at earlier. So that matches those quite nicely and emits a lovely light circle here and has some glowing edges too. We have some nice surfaces here. I'm actually starting to wonder if the furniture's getting a little bit too matchy now that I'm seeing it next to each other. I'm really curious to see if while we're building, we're gonna feel like everything looks too similar, like it's a furniture set bought from one store. Yeah, really interested to see that, or if it's just because I've laid it out this way. The actual design of this desk is really, really cool. All of these items are really, really cool. How they've been made, the side tables, the dining table over here, the coffee table, but maybe we needed to see some slightly different colors instead of matching swatches amongst these. This is a staircase light. Oh, that's cute. Very sweet. What I'm noticing with a lot of these objects is there's some really great little surface nooks to put things on that maybe we don't see as much, like different levels of surfaces, which I'm really enjoying. This is a fan bell light. Was this an unlockable? No, this is an object. There's no other swatches, so I'm wondering if this plant appears in gameplay. We've got a little mushroom book set over here, very cute. This is an unlockable object through the Apothecary skill. I believe some of these are unlockables. Yeah, this tabletop set. We've got a few things you've got to unlock here, but at least you can get a sneaky peek there. This little door is very cute as a decoration object. Oh, we do have an artwork. So we've got some like gnomey looking stuff here. That's cute. Would have loved one to put on the wall. Can you go on the wall as well? No, that would be cool if photo frames that sit on tables could just go on walls as well and vice versa. Got some nice succulents here. This little guy I showed you before with the little faces. He's so cute. And then this is really cool. This is a nature press book. I'm really excited to use this because you can actually put different items inside this to create your own artwork. So perhaps that's why we don't have much artwork in the game either in build and buy mode, but you can put florals and purchase ingredients to create something in this book as well. Again, excited to check that out through gameplay. This is your new mailbox. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that a nice design? It's a nice design, I love it. Again, this is a really good example of their creative use of levels in some of these objects that we haven't seen before. I don't think we've ever had a wardrobe that has both a tall boy incorporated with a lower set of drawers so that you can fit a mirror in it. Love this orientation. This is a bookshelf over here. This is really cute because you might have thought, well, I don't know what kind of wardrobe I'm gonna have in my fairy house, but this is a clothes rack. Very pretty with a set of clothes on it. I love the bathroom because it's so nature inspired. Like, I love that this bathtub looks like, you know, it's just built out of rock. This would be a really cool outdoor bathtub too. This is what I needed for Ken in my Barbie LP back in the day. Shout out to anyone who remembers that. You've been watching a long time. This shower is beautiful, really nicely made, and I love the toilet. I love the name of the toilet, the Call of Nature. If you actually take the time to read some of the item descriptions, they are so well written and thought about. Like, whoever did them, I feel like did such a great job and were very motivated and inspired, really good at writing. So yeah, worth a read if you have the time. I mean, I won't go through them today because we'll be here forever. This is the new Apothecary skill table. So this is where you're gonna practice your apothecary skill, craft different items, cures for fevers. You can also purchase ingredients here and ooh, petals. Very cool. This is apothecary storage cabinet. Oh, so you can actually store things within this cabinet too and purchase ingredients. That's handy to know. We have some lovely fireplaces here. This is a more basic fireplace that goes with this repeated style and swatch furniture set. Very nice. And then this one, I love, again, the different layers of shelving. Levels, people. Look at these levels. So you can place things on all of these shelves. Aren't they gorgeous? And this would probably go very nicely against the stone wallpaper, I imagine. You can probably, wonder if you can exactly match this to the wallpaper behind. Oh wow, you can. We love that. Yeah, that's cool. You know what I would have loved to see? Just, this is such a slight little thing. Just a little bit of smoldering texture. A little bit of ash coloring on the back here from the wood burning, just to roughen up this section, because this is all kind of natural and rough looking and this is very polished. I think that would have, you know, made it a little bit more rustic looking, like a real fireplace. This is probably a hero item in the pack. I think a lot of people are going to be obsessed with this. We saw it a little bit earlier. It looks so cool and mesmerizing when you just have a look at it from different angles. If we go into live mode, this bar has cascading water. Isn't that a gorgeous little attention to detail? Like running into the galaxy below. And then we also have these flowers that I guess are like the drink pouring things. I mean, it's a really sweet design. I think this looks like it was really considered. We can't place anything on the shelves down there. But yeah, that has some really cool swatches and versions of it. Like there's a lighter shade too, so I'm sure people will get very creative with it. We have a wedding arch. I love that they included a beautiful, simple wedding arch for fairies to get married, or if you marry a fairy. Very pretty. And another hero item in this pack is the fact that we have tabletop plants. So tabletop planters to care for living plants in. So these plants, you will have to care for them. They're no longer just decoration. If you're a plant lover, you can compliment, tell the plant that they're your favorite. You can scold the plants. Talk to nature, enchant them with fairy dust. I think you're meant to water them. Uproot plant. thought you needed to tend to them. Maybe when they age a little bit, then the tending options pop up. Again, we'll check this all out through gameplay. But yeah, I just think it's so cool. So you have these different pots. The different pots have different swatches, which is really good. They're different shapes. And then the plants, I love how they've done the graphics here. I think these icons just look really great. You can then just pick whichever plant you want and pop them into their pots. And then there's also different swatches of the plants, which is really lovely because you can have several of the same plant that looks a little bit different next to each other. Not to mention, I love these stripy ferns. So you can make a whole collection of plants that look really unique and not just like the repeated thing over and over again. And then I think maybe you'll be able to use the plants potentially for your healing potions and elixirs. I'm not sure though, but we will see. I think we've just got to have a look at these guys over here, and then we might have gone through all the build and buy objects. There's a dollhouse here, very cute, and I love the doll houses, how they have the actual furniture as miniature versions. So that's all mirrored in this little doll house, very sweet. I would love to see doll houses that are a little smaller. Like, the doll houses are so big. I get they need to work with the animations. But I wonder if they could just, just reduce them a little bit so we can fit them into little corners in the house. Because how many tiles does this take up? You're kind of taking up 2x3 tiles, really. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing some slightly smaller doll houses, but this is really cute nonetheless. This is a fairy house. The fairy house is smaller than the doll house. So your Sims, if they're a fairy, such as Tashi here, she can throw a dance party. She can actually fly into this little dollhouse, a dollhouse fairy house. So this is a real fairy home abode. It's a cozy spot to rest and wash up. And fairy dust accumulates as fairies occupy them. So you can collect it for enchanting plants and gnomes. You really can watch her here. This is such a cool animation. She shrinks and she goes in, and then she has like a little dance party. And I love how the bunting goes up, the lights are coming out. It is so cute that they did this. And also fairies can shrink and do other things as well. They can jump into kitchen sinks and do other things. So yeah, I really love that aspect. Okay, Tashi, you're having a good time in there. And then they pop back out and go full size. Absolutely nailed that animation. I love the throwback to like Sims 3 plum bobs with this wrapped around it. Yeah, and she's also shiny because they have a new like shiny shimmery skin option too. So depending on how you look at it, you might think she looks plastic if you want to ever make a Barbie doll in Sims. I wish I had this when I was doing Barbie LPs. Or you might see it as more dewy and moist. You might interpret it that way, especially with like this slicked back hairdo, which check out my Creator Sim video if you want to see more about that, but that was pretty cool. Oh my God, where is the fire? Sage, why? I literally put you in live mode for 2 seconds and you start a fire. Oh, the chimney's got the smoke coming out of it. That looks awesome. Love to see it. Okay, well, great. Now we can't go into build mode because you're on fire. Can you extinguish? I was hoping that the fairies might have a special extinguishing powder. Powder? Okay, well, he's safe. I tell you what, you should be able to put this out with your powers, Tashi. Shrink and play. Let's just check out what it looks like when she plays in the fireplace. Although, is she gonna catch on fire now? I also love this little wood detail while it's going as well. That's nice how it crisps up. Okay, apparently she's playing in there, but I can't see her, so I don't know if she's gonna be okay. It looks like she's having fun though, so that's good. If she wasn't having fun, maybe she would be burning. Okay, she's back. She became good friends with Petal. Okay, she became good friends from being in the fireplace. Okay, where were we before these chaotic Sims got involved? So yeah, that's the fairy house. We just have the one fairy house. Would have been cool to see maybe a few others. Maybe one of the bonus items you get from pre-ordering is a fairy house. I can't remember. Then we have this regular indoor plant, I think. We also have this little decoration. We also have these flowers, which are like the roof flowers. Yeah, you can't interact with those. And then this is a mirror. I actually thought this was a see-through archway for some reason when I first placed this, which would really make no sense. But this is lovely. I love the red mushrooms. I love the red mushrooms. I love the yellow and the purple. That's cool. Yeah, that's really pretty. Other hero items on the pack for me, maybe this is my favorite item because it's called Gnome Dolph. It's like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, but it's a Gnome Dolph. So shout out to whoever on the team is a Lord of the Rings fan and popped this in, and shout out whoever let it happen. That's really exciting. We also have Plant Gnome over here, really cute. There is a focus on gnomes in this pack too. Very fairy gnome, and then Bun Bun the Freezer Bunny. I think this is just a decor object as well. I kind of wonder if we will, well, I was wondering if we would unlock more gnomes through gameplay, like if there'd be a gnome collection perhaps. But considering I've already gone through debug and live edit objects, I don't think there's any more gnomes. I think these are the gnomes we have. I wish there were more. They are very cute gnomes though, and we do have extra gnomes than what we usually would get in an expansion pack, because we usually do get a gnome. Look at this little hat. It's the toddler hat. So cute. Then we have this little gnome guy. This is actually a nightlight, so you can put it next to the bed. There's some really lovely different designs and happy faces on here, little grumpy faces too. I think there's even an evil face in there. And then this is a toy box. Definitely a toy box I will love to use a lot, and I feel like will go really beautifully in Scandinavian builds too, Scandi builds. And then we have a little mushroom toy. This is Shroomy. So cute. And then we also have a dragon over here. So I believe, hopefully, I've gone through all the build and buy objects in under an hour. Yay! So that means that over here we have some debug items, we have some unlockable items, and live edit items. So these are accessed through cheats, or you would usually just see them in the world as world decoration, or you would unlock them through gameplay. So if you do not want any spoilers, maybe skip this bit or keep watching if you want to see more. Oh, I did just realize a couple of items I forgot though. We do have this beautiful swing set, and we do have this awning here. One of the most beautiful swing sets I think I've ever seen. This is really stunning and really beautifully made. And I also love this awning here as well. Definitely going to be very useful with our builds. So yeah, those are 2 extra items. So this is the Apothecary store that you will actually see in the world, and the gnome store, which you'll see in there as well. The market stall. I think you can actually buy gnomes here. So yeah, maybe it's a mix of base game gnomes and the ones that we've already seen. These palettes I just thought were cool that you might want to use in your builds. These will be from debug or live edit mode, as well as all of these other cool items here. The little ice cream sundae. This log is really beautiful. I think that will be useful for builds, as well as this like flower box, some wildflowers, kind of tractor looking plants, and this little stump. And these were the kind of flowers I think would have been really lovely to have in build and buy mode. Obviously they're a different quality to what you would have in your landscaping build mode. But if they had been able to add these at the appropriate quality, it would have been so nice to use them and so easy to use them. So these are going to now be hidden away amongst the build cheats if you want to use them. I've also got some nice lily pads, some fencing, some cool trees. Yeah, I'm still really surprised they have no new bushes really, except for the couple that you can put on roofs. The other thing that I think was a really big missed opportunity is mushrooms. These giant mushrooms you can get from debug mode, as well as this plant and this rock. I'm sure that will probably come up in gameplay at some point. But we didn't like a throwback that would have been really cool is the mushroom seat from The Sims 1 Making Magic. I would have loved a mushroom seat. Wait, maybe maybe we already have a mushroom seat. I'm trying to remember. I don't have access to all my packs here, so maybe that's why. But yeah, we've got some mushrooms that I would have liked to place in my gardens without using build cheats. This is an unlockable, this glasswood tree, and you can meet a character through interacting with it, which we will figure out in gameplay. And then this is like a teleporter rock, which is also an unlockable from completing a certain fable. This reminded me a little bit of Zelda, just because it's a rock with like green markings on it that glow. So yeah, I was just a little bit excited to see that too, because I felt like, ooh, maybe they were inspired by Zelda. I don't know, but I liked it. These are notice boards you'll see in town. I thought these were especially like really cute designs with the acorns and mushrooms in them and all of these different pamphlets. Really sweet. Again, these rocks would have been so handy to have directly in build mode. Just some mossy rocks for gardens. So good to know that they're tucked away in case you want to use your build sheets and use them in a build. Spoilers! This is the fairy tombstone. Very pretty. It's even got its own wings on the back. I'm gonna cry. So cute. And the indoor version of it is this beautiful fairy vial. I thought that was such a gorgeous way of creating a fairy urn. So those are really pretty. These candles are made through using the flower press book, I believe. So you can create these. You'll be able to sell them for a pretty penny, it looks like. Holy moly, you can make some bank from these. And these are absolutely gorgeous. These are the artwork you can make. And maybe that's why they didn't have artwork available in build buy mode, because you can make the artwork. Maybe they're just trying to make us work a little bit harder, but there's no other swatches. So it doesn't really feel like the same thing. But I love them. I think these are beautiful, and this definitely is great incentive to want to make the objects, to decorate your house with them. Potentially they could be a collectible, I'm not sure, which is also cool. And I've also got some elixirs, some ingredients like a lump of moss, some small critter bones, acorns. These are all ingredients that you might need to purchase to create remedies with. Ooh, a very special seedling, which if planted can summon Mother Nature herself. Fairy seedling, that's so cool. This is like a cow plant glowing horn. I mean, all of this is such cool stuff. And there's also some books to learn the Apothecary skill, and what is this? Actually, well, this is survival skill book. Okay, so they're skill building books. Yeah, so that's really pretty. I love, 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 love all of those flower pressing books that I'm gonna have so much fun creating. So there you go, you guys. Oh, and I did say that I was gonna show you guys maybe a lot that's built by community people. So one thing I really liked was this Star Song Lounge, and I was actually thinking it would be really cool if they noted the creator maybe in the description of this. Ooh, we also have new lot traits. This lot is near an enchanted passage. Fairy sims are more likely to visit. That's nice. So if we head over to there. So yeah, this lot is really cool. Oh, need to get rid of these little tutorial quests. So this lot was built by Cracked Kaiba, also known as Megan or Megan. And I just love this lot because not only is it like super cool from the outside, it's in this awesome magical part of the world, which is really fun. Go away quests. Now we've got our lighting here. Oh, look at those mushrooms in the background. Wait, is that an object? I want to use that. Oh, that's cool. They actually put the lighting in a tree. Love that. But yeah, this is such a sick lot because look at the bar. I mean, how amazing does this bar look? And ooh, they're sparkling. There's a little gnome there. It's listening and sitting and listening to the music. So cool. And this is our first look at fairies out in the wild. So yeah, it's got this lovely little music station. I think there are also fireflies spawning. Yeah, so they've put fireflies around this lot as well, which is really nice. There's this lovely wedding arch right here, so pretty. I love how this is moving with the tree. Wait, do those just move? Oh my gosh, they levitate? They just hover? Wow. That's so cool and magical. So yeah, this bar is just so sick. I love how they put two side by side as well to create a bigger bar. That's very clever. And yeah, it's just a really, really cool special lot, and it makes you want to go out on the town. I want to go to a fairy bar. Someone come to a fairy bar with me. The fireflies is such a great idea too. So love that lot. There's, ooh, Baskin Emotions. Oh gosh, we gotta get into gameplay, you guys. I want these mushrooms. Why aren't they in build and buy? And what's this? Oh, this is like a public bathroom, fairy court documents. Okay, so this is just like a hub. Maybe it's like a community center. It's a very cute design. I want those mushrooms, but they're only in the world, so I don't think we can actually put them on the lot. I don't think we have access to them. See, when I say we need more mushrooms, That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's just one of many beautiful lots in the world. That's a beautiful lot made by the same creator as well. There was a lot that I felt a little bit inspired by. Maybe it was this one. It's great because it's nighttime. It's a little hard to see. Let's just go into build mode. Oh yeah, I love this house. I love the terrain they've created here, but my favorite aspect is actually these archways that, you know, you're going in, but you're still outside. It's just a tunnel under the house against the terrain and all of this foliage and the garden back here. It's just such a cool build. This one was by the Sim Scrolls. So shout out to the Sim Scrolls. Oh my gosh, you did such a great job with this build. And I'm gonna be really inspired by this one in my build because I just love this idea of having that archway under here. So thank you for the inspiration. So yeah, let me know what you think of build and buy mode. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with my criticisms? Do you disagree? Do you have your own? What do you love the most? Are you obsessed with Gnome Dolph? Gan Gnome? I've forgotten its name. Oh no, what was its name? Gnome Dolph, Gnome Dolph. Are you as obsessed with Gnome Dolph as me? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching this video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to directly support this channel, you can use the code Deligracy if you purchase any Sims packs from the EA app. Just enter the code Deligracy in the promo code section, and that's a really great way to support the channel. So thanks to everyone who's been using it. And thank you very much to my amazing members for your support as well. I hope you guys are having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I can't wait to speak to you all soon. And yeah, I really enjoyed all of these pieces. So thanks for watching. Dag dag.